October 26, 2014, from Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. It was the Indianapolis Colts at the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Colts won the toss and they elected to receive. So they start things out on their own 20, and they made it across midfield, went on 2nd and 5 from their own 35. Andrew Luck hit T.Y. Hilton for a 45-yard reception. That brought the ball to the Pittsburgh 20. And then a few plays later, they would end up having to settle for a field goal as their drive stalled on the Pittsburgh 13, and Adam Vinatieri came out to kick a 31-yarder, and the Colts were on the board first with the score 3-0, Indianapolis over Pittsburgh. So now the Steelers would take over with about 12 minutes left in the first quarter. They had it on their own 20. And then on 1st and 10 from the 35, Roethlisberger hit Bryant for a 19-yard pass. There was a penalty on the defense, but they declined it. And it was now a first down on the Indianapolis 46. They then got down to the red zone, and on 1st and 10 from the 18, Roethlisberger dropped back to pass, and he hit Wheaton for an 18-yard touchdown as the Steelers took the lead at 7-3. The Colts then went 3 and out on their next possession, and they punted the ball, and the Steelers would take over on their own 24 with about 6.5 minutes left in the first quarter. They would bring the first quarter to a close by driving down the field all the way into the red zone. And on the final play of the first quarter was 1st and goal from the 8, and Le'Veon Bell ran for 3 yards. So after 1, the score was 7-3, Steelers over the Colts. And on the first play of the second quarter, Roethlisberger hit Bryant for a 5-yard touchdown pass, and it was now 14-3, Steelers over the Colts. The Colts would now take over on their own 23. And then on 2nd and 5 from the 28, Andrew Luck dropped back to pass, and he was intercepted by Gay. And he ran it back 33 yards for the pick 6. So it was now 21-3, Pittsburgh over Indianapolis. So now the Colts would take over on their own 14 with about 14 minutes left in the first half. And they would end up getting the ball into Pittsburgh territory when Andrew Luck hit Moncrief for a 52-yard pass after some penalties gave them a first down. And so now it was 1st and 10 on the Pittsburgh 27. And then on 2nd and 9 from the Pittsburgh 21, Andrew Luck dropped back to pass, and he found Allen for a 21-yard touchdown. And it was now 21-10 as the Colts had cut the Steelers' lead to 11. So now the Steelers took over on their own 13-yard line. And then on 2nd and 10 from the 27, Roethlisberger hit Bryant for a 52-yard pass that brought it to the Indianapolis 21. Then on 3rd and 3 from the 14, Blunt only picked up a yard, and that made it 4th and 2 from the 13. Swisham came out to kick a 30-yard field goal, but a penalty on the defense would make it a first down as it was 1st and goal on the 8-yard line. And now Roethlisberger would hit Antonio Brown for an 8-yard touchdown, and it was now 28-10. So instead of 3 points, the Steelers end up with 7. So now the Colts took over with about 8.5 minutes left in the first half. They had the ball on their own 22, and they went 3 and out. So now the Steelers got the ball back on their own 23 with about 7.5 minutes left before halftime. Roethlisberger then hit Johnson for an 18-yard pass, and then Roethlisberger hit Bell for an 8-yard pass. So now it was 2nd and 2 on the 49, and Roethlisberger hit Johnson for a 4-yard pass. So now it was a first down on the Indianapolis 47. Roethlisberger dropped back to pass, and he hit Antonio Brown for a 47-yard touchdown, and it was now 35-10, Steelers over the Colts. So now the Colts took over with about 5 minutes left in the second quarter. They had the ball on their own 20, and then after having actually gone back and forth, it was now 3rd and 11 on the 19. Andrew Luck dropped back to pass, and he found Akeem Nicks for a 27-yard pass to make it a first down on the 46. Luck then hit Bradshaw for a 12-yard pass, and it was a first down on the Pittsburgh 42. Then on 3rd and 15 from the 47, Andrew Luck scrambles for the first down with a 14-yard run, and then a defensive holding penalty added on another 5 yards. So now it's first down on the Pittsburgh 28. Andrew Luck dropped back to pass, and he found T.Y. Hilton for the 28-yard touchdown, and it was now 35-17 as the Colts had cut the Steelers' lead in half. And so now the Pittsburgh Steelers got the ball with less than 2 minutes left before halftime. They had it on their own 20, and they brought it to midfield and into the Colts territory. So now it was 4th and 4 on the Colts 34. And the Steelers lined up in a shotgun formation like they were going to go for it. But then Roethlisberger went to do like a quick kick as he attempted to punt the ball, and it was blocked by Newsome, and it was recovered by Jean-Francois. So now the Colts had the ball on their own 35, and then on 2nd and 6 from the 39 of the Colts, Andrew Luck dropped back to pass, and he hit T.Y. Hilton for a 39-yard reception, and the Colts called a timeout. So now it was 1st and 10 on the Pittsburgh 22, and Luck ran for 13 yards to make it 1st and goal on the 9, and the Colts burned their last timeout. Then after an incomplete pass, a pair of incomplete passes, it was actually on the second incomplete pass, it was a penalty against the defense that made it 1st and goal on the 5. But with only 1 second on the scoreboard, Adam Vinatieri would come out to attempt a 23-yard field goal. It was up, it was good, and it was now 35-20. So at halftime, the score was Pittsburgh 35, Indianapolis 20. So now to start things off in the third quarter, the Pittsburgh Steelers had the ball on their own 20, and they would bring it up to midfield. And then on 3rd and 8 from the Pittsburgh 47, Ben Roethlisberger dropped back to pass, and he hit Heath Miller for a 49-yard reception. And that brought the ball to the 4-yard line. So it was 1st and goal, and then after picking up a pair on 1st down, Le'Veon Bell, and then it was 2nd and goal. Ben Roethlisberger dropped back and he hit Matt Bryant for a 2-yard touchdown pass to make it 42-20. Actually, Martavis Bryant. Excuse me. So anyway, so now it's 42-20, Pittsburgh over Indianapolis. So now the Colts got the ball with about 10 minutes left in the third, and 4 plays later they would punt it. The Steelers then went 3 and out, and so now the Colts got the ball back with about a little less than 7 minutes left in the third. They had it on their own 31. They brought it across midfield and into field goal range and into the red zone. And it was 1st down on the Pittsburgh 12, and Ahmad Bradshaw ran it in from 12 yards out, and it was now 42-27. So now the Steelers would take over with about 3.5 minutes left in the third. Roethlisberger dropped back to pass, and he hit Darius Hayward-Bay for a 20-yard reception, but he got blown up by Butler, and he fumbled the ball, and it was recovered by Adams. So now the Colts had the ball on the Pittsburgh 36, with still just about 3.5 minutes left in the third. And then 2 plays later, it was 3rd and 5 from the Pittsburgh 31. Andrew Luck dropped back to pass, and he found Moncrief for a 31-yard touchdown. And it was now 42-34 as the Colts were now within 12 points of the Steelers. So now the Steelers took over with about 2.5 minutes left in the third. They had the ball on their own 20, and they brought it up to midfield. It was 1st and 10 on the 50, and then Antonio Brown ran for 5 yards on an end around, and that brought the third quarter to a close. So after 3, it was Pittsburgh 42, Indianapolis 34. So to start things off in the fourth quarter, the Steelers had the ball on the Colts 45. It was 2nd and 5. Bell ran for 3 yards. That brought up 3rd and 2 from the 42, and Roethlisberger threw an incomplete pass, but pass interference gave the Steelers a 1st down on the Indianapolis 24. Then on 3rd and 10 from the 24, Roethlisberger hit Wheaton for a 13-yard pass. An illegal contact penalty on the Colts made it a 1st down for the Steelers on the Colts 11-yard line. LeGarrette Blount then ran for 6 yards, but he got blown up by Studebaker. He fumbled the ball, and Studebaker recovered for the Colts. So now the Colts had the ball on their own 5-yard line, and an incomplete pass brought up 2nd down. Andrew Luck dropped back to pass, and it ended up being a safety. It was kind of a crazy play where he kind of like tripped when he took the snap, and he fell back, he landed on his butt, and then he went to try to throw the ball from a sitting position, but because his rear end was on the white line, they ruled it a safety. Andrew Luck was arguing with the referees, and they challenged, but it was ruled a safety. So 2 points on the board for the Steelers, and it was now 44-34. This is actually a 10-point game, as the Colts were actually within 8 points. I know I said 12, it was 8 points. Sorry about that. So now the Steelers had the ball with 12 and a half minutes left in this game. 33-yard line was where they started off, their own 33. They brought the ball to midfield, and on 3rd and 7 from the Pittsburgh 47, Ben Roethlisberger dropped back to pass, and he had Antonio Brown for an 18-yard reception, and now it was first down on the Colts 35. So now LeGarrette Blount ran for 5 yards, and then on 2nd and 5, Roethlisberger hit Miller for 10 to make it a first down on the Indianapolis Colts 20. Then a couple plays later, it was 3rd and 9 from the 19. Roethlisberger hit Blount for 8 yards, but he was just shy of the first down. So it was 4th and 1 on the Colts 11, and the Steelers elected to go for it. And Roethlisberger hit Miller for an 11-yard touchdown, and now it was 51-34 Steelers over the Colts. So now the Colts took over with about 5 minutes left in this game. They had the ball on their own 20, and they would end up reaching midfield and bringing it into Pittsburgh territory, and it was first down on the Pittsburgh 27. Andrew Luck dropped back to pass, and he was intercepted by Blake in the end zone for the touchback. And so the Steelers took over with less than 3 minutes left in this game, and they started to run the clock down, and they would end up punting the ball, though, 6 plays later. But with just seconds left in this game, it was all but over, and Andrew Luck actually took a knee to bring it to a close, as this game was out of reach with the score 51-34 as the Pittsburgh Steelers beat the Colts. And with the victory, the Steelers are now 5-3 on the season, and with the loss, the Colts are 5-3. So quite the impressive victory for the Pittsburgh Steelers at home against Indianapolis. And in this game, Ben Roethlisberger was 40 for 49 with 522 passing yards and 6 touchdowns. He also had a negative rushing yard off of 1 carry. Andrew Luck was 26 for 45 with 400 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. He also rushed for 26 yards off of 3 carries. The leading rusher in this game was Le'Veon Bell with 92 yards off of 24 carries, and the leading receiver was T.Y. Hilton with 155 receiving yards off of 6 receptions, one of which was for a touchdown. Moncrief also had 113 yards off of 7 receptions and a touchdown. And for Pittsburgh, Antonio Brown had 133 yards off of 10 receptions and 2 touchdowns. Heath Miller had 112 yards off of 7 receptions and 1 touchdown. And Martavis Bryant had 5 receptions for 83 yards and 2 touchdowns. Wheaton also caught a touchdown. He had 5 receptions for 56 yards. Bell also had 56 yards off of 6 carries to go along with his 92 rushing yards. And the leading tackler in this game was actually Jackson for the Colts, as DeQuell Jackson had 13 tackles, and Mike Adams had 11 tackles. The leading tackler for Pittsburgh was Gay, and Polamalu had a sack, and Harrison had a sack, as the Steelers had 2 sacks. The Colts did not have any sacks. The 2 interceptions in this game were both for Pittsburgh, as Gay and Blake each had interceptions. So the final score in this game, Pittsburgh 51, Indianapolis 34.